Could America's new stealth bomber, the B-21 Raider, also become its new stealth fighter? Now that's a question I first floated back in July when I posted a video called "Could the B-21 absorb the air superiority mission?" And today, I'm here to say I told you so, because just a few days ago, Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin said that that is exactly what the Air Force is now considering, as the branch's next-generation air dominance fighter program, which was meant to replace the F-22 Raptor, is currently on hold, pending a complete reevaluation of its intended capabilities and, more importantly, its cost. Now, I realize it sounds nuts to use a bomber for a fighter's job, but it's important to understand that the line between these roles is getting blurrier every day, in large part because onboard systems are getting so much more capable and so much smaller. In fact, the new upgraded B-52J has a more capable and technologically advanced onboard radar than you'll find in just about any Russian fighter. Its AN/APG-79 active electronically scanned array radar is based directly on the APG-79 radar you'll find in the nose of the Navy's upgraded Super Hornets. And that means the only thing really stopping the B-52 from carrying air-to-air missiles is the relatively low cost of integrating them into its wiring buses and cultural inertia. And to be clear, it would be even easier to integrate air-to-air weapons into the B-21, which is already expected to carry the most advanced intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and targeting suite of avionics ever affixed to a combat aircraft, meaning it already has all of the systems on board that it would need to leverage air-to-air weapons in combat. And more than that, it was also designed to fly at the center of a constellation of AI-enabled drone wingmen, just like the NGAD fighter. And that means the B-21 may not even need to engage other aircraft at all to fly the air superiority mission. It could literally send its drones after them instead. Now, the Air Force has openly stated that two of their priorities for their new stealth fighter would be greater range and greater payload, both of which the B-21 brings in spades. In fact, not only would the B-21 have plenty of payload space to carry AIM-120 AMRAAMs, or even the forthcoming AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, but it may be the only stealth aircraft in the world that's large enough to carry the Navy's massive AIM-174B air-to-air missiles internally. In fact, it could probably carry as many as 10 of them on a rotary launcher, each of which could potentially engage airborne targets at ranges in excess of 300 miles. And importantly, the B-21 is designed to operate as the center hub for a modern kill web, meaning the B-21 could launch those missiles before its onboard systems could even detect the target, relying instead on target data being relayed by forward-advancing F-35s, CCA drones, and more. And interestingly, Northrop Grumman themselves have touted the B-21 as the world's first sixth-generation aircraft. Now, you guys know how I feel about fighter generational designations. They're mostly marketing malarkey, but they are specific to fighter aircraft, which makes it really weird that Northrop Grumman would use these generational designations to describe their new bomber. That is, unless they were already pushing for this air-to-air job. And while the B-21 is certainly a subsonic aircraft, and that means nowhere near as fast as something like the F-22, its immense range could offset that weakness. We expect the B-21's unrefueled range to be somewhere north of 7,000 miles. And that would be vital in a conflict over the Pacific, where both think tank and DoD wargames repeatedly show American aircraft being destroyed on the tarmac at airbases all throughout the region by long-range Chinese cruise and ballistic missile strikes. Meaning the US either needs to significantly increase its air defense capabilities and its hardened aircraft structures all throughout the Pacific, or it needs to transition to aircraft that don't need to be based in the Pacific to strike China. Now, I want to be clear that even if this does happen, it wouldn't mean the B-21 would completely absorb the air superiority mission. It would instead bolster it, alongside aircraft like the Block 4 F-35 and its CCA, or AI-enabled drone wingmen, and whatever ultimately manifests from the Air Force's revised next-generation air dominance program and the Navy's new stealth fighter program that now is positioned to potentially be the world's first operational 6th-generation fighter. Depending on, I guess, what you'd consider the B-21 to be, anyway.